Being a new mom is hard. We get it.
It's easy to feel alone, but we know that's never how God intended it. So we want to welcome you to the Motherhood.
If you need professional parenting advice, clinically proven data, or study-based evidence, please let us know where to find it. Because here at the Motherhood, we focus on sharing experiences, offering encouragement and understanding, but most importantly, friendship.
We're here to do motherhood together. Hello and welcome back to the Motherhood. If you're new, my name is Riley.
And I'm Bethany.
And we have had quite a few new followers, subscribers, all of that. So we thought today would be a really fun time to kind of do a little like mom tag. And basically, these are just fun questions. We did not read them ahead of time because we want our answers to be very real and like not premeditated or anything like that. So we found a fun like little like Google question thing like months ago, put it in here, coming back to it now with fresh eyes. And yeah, so basically we'll take turns asking questions, answering them. We're going to try really hard not to take a bunch of tangents. Yeah. And we also thought it'd be cool if like you guys kind of played along. Like obviously we can't hear your answers, but just kind of like some reflective questions and all that. And so, or like, you know, if you're listening with a group of people, you guys can pause it and discuss your own, whatever. So this is just a super laid back, like, fun episode. Yeah.
So, and these are all like questions related to like motherhood,
to
right?
Motherhood, yes.
Okay, they're not just like random ones.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even know what they are.
Let's jump right into question 1.
Okay, so the first question, this is so fun. I'm so excited. How old were you when you had your first child?
26.
27?
Oh, you're looking at me. I don't know.
26?
Okay,
26. I turned 30 this year, and I had him in 2020.
October was already after, like you would have already had your birthday for 2020. The math ain't mathin'.
26 or 27? Math is not my strong suit. 27-ish.
Give or take. What was the hardest thing about being pregnant for 9 months?
Honestly, for me, I think it was the food aversions and like wanting to eat well, but not wanting to eat well at all.
For me, hands down the nausea. It was so bad from like week 5 to 7, which is so early. Yeah. But like I had to be medicated, and then from then on it lasted like well into my second trimester. Yeah. That. Well, 2 things, I guess, because there was that and then the stress after I found out that I had the low fluid and stuff. So kind of have to there.
That's kind of one. I was going to say my second would probably be the nausea too. Third question. Can you think of any good things you enjoyed during those 9 months?
Sad, absolutely.
Can you think of anything you enjoyed? I know for me, my skin got so clear during pregnancy. Like all my pimples went away and I felt flawless besides the big belly, but I definitely enjoyed that clear skin for me.
Well, not to make yours sound vain, I was going to say for me it was like the bonding. Say like
the baby kicks and the flutter.
No, I was going to say the bonding though, because like from the moment I found out I was pregnant, I felt an immediate bond. And like, I know that it's not that way for everybody. It's not that way for the dad. But for me, it was just such a bond. Like, she went everywhere with me. She's a little bestie, and she still is, but just different now.
There's something so sweet about that.
Number 4, in your opinion, were all the things you heard about childbirth accurate or way off?
This is a good one.
And this is where we're going to have to try really hard to not do a tangent. I'm going to say way off because, again, I was a C-section. We just shared our birth stories. We can try to put them in the show notes, but my C-section was phenomenal. Yeah. And I know that that's not the case with every C-section. And in fact, I feel like C-sections get a really bad reputation. Mm-hmm. And so for me, it was actually way off. Yeah. But in a good way.
Yeah. I would kind of say the same. I think like birth and like labor is built up to be this so scary, terrible, painful thing. And at least in my experience, it was not that like screaming, crying kind of scary thing. So I would agree and also say way off for me too. Would you have handled childbirth differently if you could redo it?
This is a good question for you. If you have not heard birth stories, Bethany had a baby in a car.
And that I would not change. I would not change that one bit. Honestly, it's my favorite. Other than maybe just having her in the house instead of the car. I don't know. anyways, I wouldn't change that one bit. Looking back for both of my childbirths, I don't think I would redo it.
I wouldn't either. Number one, because it ended up being great.
Yeah.
But number two, I think that God gives us our experiences for a reason, and I think that was the birth I was meant to have, and now I feel like part of my calling is to help moms that know that they're getting C-sections, like, worry less.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not just saying this, like, I don't think I would change anything about it.
Yeah. At least being, like, this far out, definitely. Maybe if you had asked me the week after, I would have been like, yes, but...
I always say that I wish I could have experienced a contraction.
Yeah.
I think I'll always miss out a little bit because I am curious, and I did miss out on the moment of putting your baby on your chest, and that moment and that triumphant feeling, because all I did was lay on a table. But all things considered, I don't. I think it happened the way it was meant to, and I'm content and happy with that.
Agree.
6 is, what would be your advice for someone who is about to have a baby?
Part of me feels like we should have prepared for these.
I know.
But it's better when it's like one-offs. I think this is something I wish somebody would have told me. It's just that it gets hard, it gets easy, it gets hard, it gets easy, it gets hard, it gets easy. It's a roller coaster of seasons for both you and the baby. So not to make that sound negative, but I think I expected once it got good, it would stay good. And then you get hit things like sleep regressions and stuff like that. So anyways, I wish I knew a little bit more that it was more of a roller coaster in terms of just kind of getting in the rhythm of things.
I would definitely say don't do it alone. And, like, of course that can be surface level as, like, get your village, but, like, talk about things. Be vulnerable with your friends. Like, don't hold back, because I can promise you are not experiencing something that a woman before you has not gone and experienced. So don't feel like it's bad or like you're alone in having these feelings, because it may not all be super positive all the time. That's okay. That's normal. Don't do it alone.
Yeah, I would also tell them go listen to the Motherhood podcast. All right, question number 7. What has been the hardest thing about being a mom?
I think for me, it has a lot to do with the comparison trap, because there is so much information out there that it's wonderful and a handicap at the same time. And then that kind of couples with, like, pressure to be a good mom, because I feel like there's so many things out there that make you feel like you're doing right and wrong, and, like, I just want to be the best that I can be.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I would agree. I think mine is pretty similar to that, in that I'm just learning how, like, imperfect of a human I am, which we are human, so we're imperfect, but, like, it's been hard to, like, know and learn that I need to work on myself kind of first and foremost, because, like, my parenting, my mothering and everything flows from that, and my children are learning from that. So I think the hardest thing is just learning that I kind of need to, like, step up my personal game first and foremost.
Because it's not about you anymore. It's about more than just us.
Exactly.
What has been the most rewarding thing about being a mom? I think for me personally, it's just having my person.
Yeah.
And, like, there is, at least at this point in motherhood, nothing I can do to make her not love me. She wants me. She doesn't care if I have on makeup. She doesn't care if I'm feeding her all organic. She doesn't care, if she gets screen time or not. Like, all these things that I'm hard on myself for, she loves me just as I am. And that is just such a sweet and just, like, a feeling unlike any other.
Yeah. I would think my answer is similar too, in that I think one of the best things is just seeing this little version of, like, me and Josh.
Right.
Like, this person that is both of us. This person that, like my husband, like Josh, that I love so much. And then getting to see this combination of us both, like, up and moving and walking around. And definitely with, like, having 2 now, one of my favorite things is just seeing 2 versions of us too, and just watching them.
And how different and alike.
Yeah. And, like, watching, like, 2 little versions of us, like, interact. Like, it's like people outside of us that are just living in. Anyways, it's crazy. Yeah. I think just, seeing them and knowing it's a combination of, like, you and someone you love also. What was the most surprising thing you discovered about being a mom? So we did hardest, most rewarding, and now we're saying surprising.
I feel like I always answer first.
Well,
but
if you have your answer ready, you go for it.
all that I don't know. Like, you go
Yeah.
into motherhood with, like, these expectations, but you really don't get it until you get it.
Yeah.
And there are things that you're going to say you're not going to do that you're going to do, and then vice versa. Like, it's a feeling unlike any other in the best way, but how much I didn't know is definitely something that I would say is very surprising.
Yeah. Mine would kind of probably be like a repeat. I think it, again, surprised me that, like, oh my gosh, so once they start sleeping through the night, you mean they don't keep sleeping through the
There's
night
regressions.
always? You know, yeah. So I think just surprising in that there are so many different phases of rhythms for children. And again, that it was surprising to me that so much of that depended on my own like personal health and well-being as well. So kind of a repeat, but those were the hardest and most surprising things for me.
And that's kind of, I mean, that makes sense to, be together.
It was hard because it was so surprising.
Number 10, what is the best memory you have involving your child? Now, I want to preface this one by saying, because we did not prepare, I'm going to give it my best shot, but it's really hard to sit here and think about 13 months in...
Yeah, but it's kind of more fun when it's like, okay, so what was the first thing that came to your mind?
And it makes it a little more like, I don't know, not crafted,
Yeah. Are you ready? Do you have yours?
I do not.
Or are you still processing back?
And you have 2 kids.
I know. So like, which one do I answer? I mean, maybe with Ayla, one of my favorite ones is just her birth. In that first moment I met her. With Archer, I don't know. It would probably be just like a combination of memories where I think just our times where we're outside together and like whether it's like playing in the mud or like looking for bugs or something, those are always just like my most favorite memories, is like being outside and like really interacting together and playing together.
I think I don't have like one particular time, so it's kind of like the Archer one. Like, I think when Indy was able to start recognizing me, and like I would go to work and I would come home and she would just smile and come to me, because it's like that showed me like, oh my gosh, I'm mama. Like, at the end of the day, she wants to come to me, she loves me. And so I think moments like that really like bonded her to me, and like just me coming in the room, her face lighting up and her crawling to me, like that's it.
Yeah, I love those moments too. What was the most exciting milestone? I would say for Archer, probably definitely like when he started walking was like probably definitely for Archer, definitely when he started walking, I think was super exciting, especially like with your first, you're like, oh my gosh. Ayla, I would say I guess this is a milestone, but like kind of like what you said, like when she started like reaching for me and like coming to me like intentionally and like, just like wanting me. I think that one was really sweet too.
I'm kind of torn between 2, and they're kind of funny. So the first one is definitely starting solids. I got so excited to feed her and let her try things out there instead of just breast milk. So that was really fun. And then the second one, and I'm not really sure at what point you could say this milestone was reached, but when she started playing. Because then it's like, oh my gosh, we can do things together. I don't just,
so true.
Hold you and feed a bottle anymore. Okay, we are on question 12 now. What is the worst thing your child has ever done? Indy is 1. So I'm going to say blowouts. Like, they're not old enough to be bad, air quotes, because they're not, but you know what I mean. Like,
I was gonna say this one probably has something to do with like poop or like an accident or something.
She is now at the age where she will throw a tantrum. So I guess that is the worst thing she's done, is like throw her head back and like go limp.
I wasn't here for this, but Josh was at home with the kids and I was out doing something, but Josh said Archer somehow got poop on his hands, like from his diaper. And I would just say that's the worst, in that it was just like disgusting and weird, and I don't know if he reached into his diaper or what.
You picked a good one to miss.
I know, right? I was like, I've never had that happen to me when I'm home. Ayla one time drank out of the dog's water bowl, so I would just say those are the worst things that they've done. Probably.
So I guess going back to mine, worst as in like the least desired thing. I guess just blowouts. I mean, she's really too little to really. Okay, what habit do you wish your child didn't have? Again, I feel like it's really hard to answer this when you have so toddlers.
Little. Archer has a bad habit of snacking a lot, which is a habit I gave him and often give into, but it would kind of help me out if I didn't let him snack so much and he actually ate whole meals throughout the day. Ayla has a kind of a growling, grunting habit that I think is adorable, but I mean, that's all I can come up with right now.
I know. I don't like this because
they're
feel
so little.
Well, they're tiny. And then second, like, I don't want to pick out flaws.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I like that you picked, like, cute little, like, quirky things, not, like, actual habits.
Yeah.
I would say, I don't want to say what's the worst or, like, what I wish she didn't have.
Yeah.
Because I think God made her the way that she needs to be. But I do think that one thing that drives me crazy is that she does not, you have to work really hard for a smile.
Yeah.
So I wish she was a little more willing to give me smiles.
Yeah. That's a good answer.
What habit of theirs makes you most proud? Literally everything she does.
I know, every little habit.
Right off, like the first thing I could think of is probably just, I know she's little, okay? At the time of recording this, our girls are like 12 and 13 months old. But she's just so smart.
Yeah.
And like just watching her explore and discover new things. Like I know every mom says that, but like that's it.
Yeah.
Like that just makes me so proud.
Yeah. I know for me, Archer would be, he always gives his little sister kisses and wants to help her.
Just loving.
So yeah, I love that about him. He's the best big brother. Ayla, I don't even know. I mean, just maybe that she is pretty like smiley and this isn't necessarily something that like makes me proud. It makes me happy, but every time she sees her daddy, she's always reaching for him. So that one's like, girl. That one's like super sweet. I guess that's a habit. Do you share any similarities with your child, both physically and personality? Both physical and personality. I read that wrong. Well, I think Archer is a spitting image of Josh, so he does have my curly hair, so physically we share curly hairedness. Personality, I think he's kind of like funny and like fun-loving and like goofy and crazy like Josh, but also like me. I do think Ayla looks a little bit more like me. I think she might have my eyes, and I'd like to think she has my great personality as well, so...
She has your optimism. Yes. She's always smiley, like you said.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Indy, she's so young, it's hard to really know. But she looked like spitting image of little Riley.
Yeah.
And the older she gets, the more she starts to physically look like Connor.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But personality-wise, she's very stubborn. And in a good way.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to do this. This is what I want. I've got this. Yeah. And I think I'm a little bit like that. Only I am stubborn in a respectful way. She is stubborn in like a, this is how it's going to be kind of way.
Yeah. Well, I sense that in you guys too. I was going to say she's got a personality like her mama for sure.
Unfortunately, she has my sass, which I have closet sass, okay? Like I do a really good job at hiding it, but it can be there.
Closet sass. I love that.
What are we on?
16.
Where would you like your child to be in 10 years?
Oh, gosh. Not 10 years older?
Right.
Can that be an answer?
Yeah. I would say in 10 years, I would like her to be...
Let's see, she'll be 11, right?
That's crazy, yeah. This is so cheesy, but I just want her to be her best self.
Yeah.
Like, I want her... to be kind and loving, and I just want her to be a hard worker at whatever it is she wants to succeed in.
Yeah.
Whether that be sports or an extracurricular or academics. Like, I just want her to be her best self.
Yeah. I think, again, these are just, like, first thoughts that come to my mind. Archer would be 12, so I think, I would like to see him, like, playing sports or just having, like, a really good group of friends that he hangs out with a whole bunch and... just like exploring and trying new things. And I would say the same for Ayla. She would be 11. And so, just want to see them like developing into their little personalities and everything like that.
I think I want them to be, like for all of the kids, even yours, I want them to be unapologetically them and be happy with who they are. Mm-hmm. And love themselves and love others, and I could just go on and on.
Yeah. Good answers from us both. What is something that having a child has taught you?
I feel like I have had a lot of like soul searching since having a baby. I feel like I think about who I want to be as a role model because now I literally have someone watching my every move.
Yeah.
So she has taught me how to be the best me, and she has taught me how to be selfless, and she has taught me, I feel like she's made me a new person.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like really cheesy and deep, but I mean, it's true.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say kind of like two things come to mind immediately is just that, kind of on the other hand of that is like they've taught me how, again, like imperfect I am and like how selfish I can be. But also it's taught me a lot about too. I always think about how much I love my kids and thinking about how much my parents love me. You know, it's taught me so much about just a parent's love and given me so much respect for like everything my mom did and even my dad, but just like all the sacrifices they made for us. I know it's definitely taught me so much about just, again, my own parents and
like,
their love.
Step further, God's love too.
Yep.
Like, it's just
First
crazy.
and foremost,
like, again, awesome. But number 18, did you imagine that you would be a mom at the age you became a mom?
I honestly thought I was going to have kids sooner. I mean, I was only like, what? If I answered the question right, 26 or 27.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I kind of pictured myself having kids sooner.
I was right around when I thought I would.
When you thought.
So I was the girl who in high school, we did like a timeline and everybody just like had graduation. And then after that, they had like a rough line. And I was like, May 2022.
Yeah.
Yes.
Marriage, kids, baby. All right. And we have 2 questions left. So describe your child in a single word.
Perfect. No, I'm just kidding.
Perfect.
Gosh, these are hard. There's a lot of words. I have to pick one.
I think for Archer, honestly, the first thing I can think of is wild. And for Ayla, probably just joyful.
Which is so cute because it's like her middle name is Joy.
Yeah. Kind of fitting.
For Indy, I would just say...
I feel like I can picture the word in my mind, but I can't think of it
What
either.
is the word for like a firecracker that is the best thing you've ever had and you love her immensely, but she can be a little bit sassy, but also very... She is a year old, but I almost want to say bold.
Yeah.
Because, like, she's just this firecracker.
I feel like she just already even, like, knows herself.
Maybe
like,
firecracker is the word. I don't know.
Firecracker. I think we should go with it.
And she's got some red tint to her hair, too. She's a firecracker.
Yeah.
And bringing it to an end with question number 20, how has your life changed since becoming a mom?
I mean, my life hasn't changed at all. What are you talking about?
It's changed in the best way.
Yes.
It has made my life a lot harder. It has made me a better person. It has made, I think it's made me appreciate the small things. And I hear, like, you hear stories now about people who struggle to conceive or, have a loss of some sort. And it's just made me so much more grateful. And it's changed in the best way. Yeah. It's changed everything in the best way.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely, in one sense, like, made my life, or aspects of my life, more challenging, like traveling or vacations.
Can be hard, but still wonderful.
Yeah, but I was going to say that, like, it has truly, like, I feel like my life has so much more, like, joy and, like, meaning and purpose. Though it's had its challenges, even more so, it's had, like, its moments of just, like, pure joy that I never even knew about before.
I'm going to change my answer to that. I like that. Me too.
Oh my gosh, this was super fun.
I know, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know sometimes we hit on some really, like, deep, hard-hitting topics. Yeah. This wasn't it.
And I think, again, it would just be fun to, like, go back and think of those answers for yourself. And it's super fun to, like, answer it off the top of your head.
I love personality questions. Yeah. I love reflection questions. Like, this is right up my alley. So let us know if you want more things like this. We can balance it with some hard-hitting things and then have some light stuff, too. But
yeah, definitely let us know. And if you don't already follow us on Instagram at @themotherhood_moms, we might even post some of these questions on, like, a story or something, because we would love to hear your responses to these as well. So be on the lookout for that. And again, go ahead and follow us if you don't already.
And we'll catch you guys in the next one.
See ya.
Bye. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy day to listen to us, friend. If you felt encouraged by what you heard, please consider giving us a review wherever you listen to your podcast. Unless you hated it, because like your mom always said, if you don't have anything nice to say, you don't say anything at all.
And to officially join the Motherhood, follow us on Instagram at @themotherhood_moms. We always have ways to interact, and we want to hear from you. Have a great week.